Hello, we're going to make a video, and on this video we're going to go ahead and install Silvaco 2017 and so that it's ready to run on a user ID on the ECE Teaching Lab Linux platform. And we're going to use the x2go client to accomplish this. So if you don't have this x2go client icon and you don't have it installed in the machine, you'll need to go back and review the video that shows how to install the x2go client software. Okay, to get started, we'll go ahead and we'll double click the x2go client software, and it brings up the x2go client. We're going to click on the host, which is ece-x2go.cc.lehigh.edu, and it comes up with the login prompt. So we're going to go ahead and log in. So you'll enter your password and your ID, and what it will do is it will come back with a full Linux desktop, and we'll be ready to go. And sometimes this desktop can take a second to come back, but once you actually get the desktop back, this method of accessing the ECE Teaching Lab Linux platform is much faster, particularly if you're running from off campus over a DSL line and wireless at home. Okay, now it's bringing up our Linux desktop. Okay, so now our Linux desktop is connected, and I'll close that. Now what you can do is you can drag this desktop around to change its size. So I'm going to make it like as big as I can here. Okay, and I'll just drag this on down, and there's taking up my full screen. Now what we need is a terminal. We can't really run anything on this x2go server that we're on right now, so we could do a right click, and there's a terminal in here called the mate terminal. I'll bring that up. That's not my favorite. I don't like the black background with the white, so I'm just going to close that. I'll show you how to get another terminal, and you really need to, make your screen kind of full screen here to do this next part. So I'm going to click on Applications. I'm going to go down to System Tools, and you see a terminal down there at the bottom. That's the GNOME terminal. That's the terminal I prefer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a right click, and then I'm going to add that to the panel, and so that puts that up there on the panel at the top. I'm also going to do a right click. I'm going to add it to the desktop. Okay, and a little funny thing happens. There's a little file here that is created when it makes this link, and this file doesn't really exist, so you can't even delete it. But what you do, if you hit F5, that refreshes your screen and it disappears. Okay, so I just click that and drag that somewhere more convenient. So I'm going to double click this terminal, and now one thing you can do is, and I'm going to do to make this more readable for you, the viewers, you can hold down your Control and your Shift and then hit the plus sign, and that'll make the terminal bigger, and so hopefully that will be a little bit easier to read. Okay, now what I need to do is I need to go to a machine where I can actually do some work. So the machine I'm going to go to will be ECE Server 01. So to get there, what I do is I type SSH, that's the secure shell, and then I'm going to type a -X. That means you tunnel the X protocol through the SSH login, and then a -L. That means the next thing that follows is going to be my user ID. So I'm going in with a test user ID of ECE demo. You would type your user ID for the ECE Teaching Lab Linux platform, and then the server name, ECE-server 01.cc.lehigh.edu, and then hit enter. And so this is the first time this machine is going into this server, and what it wants to do is it wants to exchange a secure key. in order to encrypt the communications, and that's perfectly good and natural. So I'll type yes, Y-E-S. You have to type yes, you can't just type Y, and then you type in your password. Okay, now if I type ls, you'll see that I don't have a scripts directory. The things in blue are directories, the things that are not in blue are files. So what I'm going to do is, and you may already have a scripts directory if you took a course previously, and that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type mkdir to make a directory, -p scripts. And then I'll type ls, and now you see the scripts directory in the list of files there. So if you had a scripts directory already and you do that mkdir-p scripts, it just won't do anything. No harm, no foul. It's not going to replace it. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to go get the script we need. So we'll do a change directory to /apps/scripts, enter, and then we'll type ls to see what's the directories and files are. So we want to do a change directory into Silvaco. We'll type ls. We're running Silvaco 2017, so we'll type cd 2017, type ls. It's a TCAD application. Type ls. There's the script we're looking for. So what we're going to do to get that script over to our ID is we'll type CP for copy, and then SILVA. Now what you could do right here is you could hit the tab key, and it will automatically complete that word for you. Okay? So we're going to type CP Silvaco 2017 TCAD env.sh. This is an environmental shell script. Next thing we'll do is we'll type $, capital H, capital O, capital M, capital E. That's an environmental variable that translates to your home working directory. Then a / and then scripts. And then we'll hit enter. Okay? And now we'll do a change directory to $, capital HOME/scripts. And now we'll type PWD for present working directory just to see where we are. Okay, now I'm in my home directory in that scripts directory that I just created. Now I'll type ls, and there we see the script. Okay, so now I'm going to type cd and return. That's going to put me back into my regular home directory, and this is how it would be if you just logged in and then transferred over to the ECE server 01 or another server to run your application. So after you come in, and if you would type ls, you would see the scripts directory under there. So you can do a change directory into scripts, and I'll do an ls. There's that file we copied. Now what we need to do is source that file, and what that does is that brings the environment into our current bash session. So we'll type source, and then so remember I can just hit tab here because that it's a unique file name, and I'll hit enter. Okay, now type cd space enter to go back to my present working directory, and now I'll type the name of a program that I know in Silvaco and see if it returns the GUI. So I'll type Tony plot, okay, and it comes back pretty quick. Now notice here's my Tony plot program, and here's my shell script, and I type Tony plot right here with nothing behind it. What it does is that actually locks up my screen so that I don't get a $ prompt back. And so what I actually have to do is that's what I'm going to click this Tony plot thing here, and to exit the to exit the program or exit the program to get my $ prompt, I have to exit the program. Now what I could do is I could type Tony plot space and then put an ampersand, and again it comes back nice and quick. And if I wanted to get my $ prompt back, now that I put that ampersand, my $ comes back, so I could run some other commands in addition. So let me close the Tony plot. That shows me that it works. I'll just test one more program real quick. Now you'll notice that some other X client software takes a long time for this program to come back. Let's see what happened. Tony plot 3D, and I'll put the ampersand there just for good measure. Comes back, boom, real fast. So that's the big advantage. I'm working on a slow DSL line here from home, and the big advantage of using the x2go software is the speed. You'll particularly notice it if you're working from off campus. Okay, and then to leave, you can just type exit, and then log off your x2go, and you should be good to go. Okay. That's all I really wanted to show you here, was how to actually start an application and run it using x2go, particularly the Silvaco 2017. I hope this was helpful, and thanks for listening.